Hello folks, and welcome to another live video. Trying to kick these off again. I used to do these live videos and a Q&A during it, and want to change the format a bit here so it wouldn't last quite as long. Pre-recorded this workout, and I'm just going to play it here for you with some music overlaid in the background so it's not quite as boring, because whenever I put my own music on there, or whatever I was listening to and working out, it would get flagged by YouTube, and then that caused problems. So bringing it back now, another reason was because I quit because when I was getting close to being able to monetize the channel, YouTube kept denying monetization because they said I was creating duplicate content that didn't provide any benefit to the audience. And I was like, well, I guess you could go back and see the comments of people and conversations I was having while I was working out and see it was beneficial, but you know, whatever. But now that all that's out of the way, back to normal and working this out. So make sure sound's working here. Sweet, it is. One sec. Okay, cool. So let me know if you have any audio issues. I'll try to adjust things here as we go, and I'll be here in the chat with you as well. What are you doing today for your workout? So, this is a leg workout, obviously. Whenever I work out, I always start with warming up. I usually start legs with squats, start push day with bench press, and start back day, which I'm actually gonna do today. I've been sick for all week, had a really bad sinus infection, but now I finally feel normal, so hopefully strength isn't too low from not working out for almost a whole week. But with back, that's what I'm doing today, start out with deadlifts. So I always warm up with really lightweight starting out. So you can see here with the bar, obviously, just doing 45 pounds, 20 reps there, just got done with. And I have listed in the description as well all the lifts from the workout with the weights and reps and how I did everything. So you can follow along, or if you want to do a similar type of workout. Excuse me if I cough a little bit here, because still recovering from that sickness. But looking at the way I program this is I basically do 3 sets, and 3 warm-up sets before I even get to my working sets, because you'll see as I do these, I slowly get lower and lower as I do more warm-ups, because now that I'm almost 35, it takes me a while to get flexibility in, and that's why it's good to warm up first, because by the time I get to my heavy sets, nothing's hurting, I feel good, I can go deep on the squats, no problem. So preventing injury is really important, because all it takes is one bad rep and you'll hurt. And then you're not working out for a couple weeks because you got to let this stuff heal, and then you lose strength. So taking the time to make sure you're good is very helpful. And if you have questions about anything, feel free to throw them in there. That's what I'm here for, to answer your questions as well about working out or nutrition, whatever, how I do things. I do my first set, warm-up set, with nothing at all, and as you can see here, I'm putting on knee sleeves as I do my second set, and then each time I add the weight, I add something else to help out with this. And we'll get to that as we go, but these are just some cheap, I forget the brand, something I got from Academy, yeah, that store. But there's all kinds of knee sleeves. I need to actually find a, excuse me, I need to find some, I guess, official type knee sleeves to use, because I'm actually doing a powerlifting competition at the end of the year now. That's what I'm training for, and I switched up how I'm doing my training a little bit because of that. Finished the bodybuilding show about 8 weeks ago. I'm up about 11 pounds this morning from my weight at the beginning of peak week, and basing off that and not stage weight, because starting beginning of peak week, you're dehydrating, doing a bunch of unhealthy stuff that's not sustainable. So I was 176.5 about, and then this morning I was 187.5, I think. So nice steady weight gain, and my weight cap for the competition is 198.5, so I've got another 11 pounds to go. Just trying to get as strong as I can. But here, doing another 10 reps with 135, just slowly working my way down, getting just below parallel on the squats. I started doing a narrower stance, and it's really helped a lot with hip issues, back issues, being able to get deeper, and I really feel it a lot more in the quads. So if you're having a hard time getting deeper with wider. It seems like a wider stance would make that easier, but for me, a narrow stance has made it way more comfortable and easier. And I've been doing that for 4 months now. I dropped the weight initially, like 70 pounds, what I was doing. So I could really focus on getting deep, locking the technique. Haven't had any issues, and I'm already up. I think I did 275 last time. This workout was about 3 weeks ago. I think I'm going up to 265 on this today. But I do my 3 warm-up sets, so right now I'm sticking on there 200, and I'm doing 5 reps. So I started out with 20 reps with the bar, then 10 reps, and then 5 reps, so cutting down half each time. And this is just to feel that heavy weight. Don't want to make a huge 135-pound jump to my working sets. And so now I'm adding the belt too, because I want to get one more set done with everything I'm going to be using. Feeling everything. There's a new belt, custom made I got, Camber Fitness, so really like that one. But here, just 5 more reps, pretty easy, 200 pounds. And then after this, I do a set of 5 to 6 with my working weight, and then I've been bumping up the weight 10% and just doing a single, because I just want to get used to doing heavy singles, since that's what I'm going to be doing in the competition. But I don't want to actually max out, because the closer you get to failure, the more, or not failure, but your max, your 1 rep max, the more likely you are to get injured. So you see here, I'm getting down below parallel now. Everything's feeling fine. I have a tendency to favor a little towards my right leg, and that's why I'm facing out. I've had people say, you're facing the wrong way, but my mirror is what I'm looking at right now, so I can try to keep myself as square as possible and make sure I'm going deep enough. But I'm estimating I'm probably 5 to 10% below my 1 rep max for the single that I do. And then I drop back down to that same working weight, try to hit another 5 to 6 reps. Then I drop the weight again about 10 more percent, and then just go for like 10 to 12 until I get pretty much close to failure. I don't go totally to failure because I've got the safety rails there, but it's kind of dangerous with squats. I don't want to hurt myself. And if your form breaks down, you can mess up your back, then you're out for a while. So close to failure in this case. And then I'll drop the weight one more time, about another 20 pounds, and just do as many reps as I can and do a drop set, drop off 50 pounds, and then keep going. And my quads are pretty fried after that. Hey, Rebu. Saw you pop in there. Got my phone going here to monitor, make sure everything's working good. Any of your reactions on Greg's video on your video on GO2 Max? So yeah, so Greg Doucette, oh, here's my working set, 265. Doing, I think I did 6 reps here. Yeah. So, I made a video about 6 weeks ago about GO2 Max and how I used it and improved my swim time a lot. And Greg made a video reviewing that. It's pretty cool. He said a lot of nice things, but at the same time, a lot of people get tired of hearing him promoting his products, which is kind of funny to me because the dude puts out 14 plus videos a week, so it's like not all of them do that. Most of his videos are talking about other people, and he always throws in some stuff, hey, you should try this or that. And the products work, at least the ones I've used. Protein powders, creatine, pre-workouts, GO2 Max. Those are the only things. I don't even take GO2 Max all the time, just when I do, what's it called? Cardio. But a lot of people in the comments are like, oh yeah, right, people talking crap about my swim technique. This guy's not a swimmer, you can tell by his stroke. He probably just fixed his technique and all this stuff. And I'm like, I mean, can't please everyone, can't do everything perfect. I'm not a great swimmer, I just do it for exercise. So I figured I'd try this out, and I got faster with the lower heart rate, so it worked for me, but a lot of people don't want to believe it, regardless of what you do, and it's a sample size of 1. So people are like, oh, and you're getting paid for it, which I'm not getting paid to make the video. I'm affiliated. Like, I'm about to take my pre-workout in a little bit, getting ready to work out here. But I've been using his products for like 2.5, almost 3 years. So it's like, if I'm already going to be using them and saying what I'm using, why not make some money off it too? If other people buy it and get people discounts. So, you know, whatever. Can't please everyone, but it was cool. I was sitting on my couch doing something, and I saw a notification pop up and say something about NMN being better than creatine. I was like, huh, it'd be funny if he used me. And then I actually pulled up the video a couple minutes later, and I was like, oh, that is me in the thumbnail. Sweet. I had some new subscribers come in, so that's cool as well. And hopefully these videos will be helpful for you guys with working out, because, you know, I always wanted to know what I could do better and whatnot. I've been working out in my garage for 3 years now, put on like close to 25 pounds of muscle in that time. Did a bodybuilding show, it's working, and I've been gaining a ton of strength since I've been eating more after my show, so it's been really fun. We've got 295 here, so I said I go up 10%. Since I did 265, you could say 10% would be 290, but I like to round up. So we're 30 pounds up. But all the way down, past parallel, back up, and that was easy. So I think, like I said, this was 3 weeks ago. My squat has gone up over 30 pounds since I finished my bodybuilding competition. Took a couple weeks of just lightly hitting the weights, and I think I did 308 on the squat last time, so another 13 pounds above that. Yeah, a lot of people talk smack, and I have people on other videos saying like, your opinion doesn't count, you're on drugs, you're taking hormones. I was like, okay. I mean, I appreciate it. If you think I look good enough to be taking performance enhancing drugs, that's awesome. You know, because that's the goal, to look like you know what you're doing. Hey baby, what are you doing? You need a towel, why are you wet? Come here. Come here. Come here. How did you get wet? We got a wet baby here. Say hi. Hi. We're gonna go get a towel in the bathroom. In there. Oh, mom has it. How'd she get wet? Outside. It's funny. That's the youngest, and you see her in the video here, so it's one thing I like about the garage too, is I can have the kids out in the garage with me and give my wife a break, because I'm out of town for work a lot, and she's taking care of 5 kids by herself. So when I come home, that's one of the reasons I like working out in the garage, is so that I don't want to just come home and leave for an hour and a half and leave all the kids with her even more. You see these reps, I try to get different angles to show. Going below parallel. Do a little pause here so we can make sure. Because when it goes fast, it doesn't always look like it. Oh, there we go. I missed the bottom of that one. One more, let's see. It's really easy when it gets tough towards the end to cut it short. There we go. So yeah, that's definitely below parallel. And see by my face, it's getting painful and tough, but it worked out. One of my kids was saying, Dad, I always tell them, hey, wait till I'm done with the set and talk to me, because I'm like dying here. But one of my girls was saying, I can't hear the TV, because she was sitting right next to that big box fan that I had blowing on me. She said, can you turn it off? I was like, no, I might throw up if I do, honey, because it's so hot out. It's like in the hundreds here now, so. The one downside of working out in the garage is it gets quite hot. So this is where I dropped the weight down to, what were we, 235. So it's like before, I rounded up for the 10%, dropped 30 pounds off. I'm gonna try to hit as many reps as I can. Looks like we're doing 10 here. In this garage gym, I built up slowly over, I think I bought the rack setup, the Rogue rack that hooks up to the wall back in our last house. That was probably 7 years ago. And I bought my basic weights, just those rubber coated ones like that 5-pound weight that's on the edge right there, a 300-pound set to go with it. And that was it. I just had a bench, the rack, and the barbell and weights. I was able to do a lot and slowly added stuff. I got a dip rack, more bars, all the dumbbells I slowly got over time, more benches. That bar, so the silver bar that's hanging up is the one I originally got. This bar I'm squatting with right now, I just got not too long ago. It's a Rogue one. I got a Rogue custom one with my logo on it, Camber Fitness, which if I was going to do it again, I'm going to make a review on it, but if I was going to do it again, it's a great bar, but I would just get the normal one because it's like an extra $150 to customize it. And I thought it was going to be gray is what I picked, just like the Rogue symbol that you can see on the other bar hanging up, but it's almost kind of a lighter white looking gray, and so it stands out more than I wanted it to. But it's still cool, you know, it's my bar for my gym, customized and all that. So it looks like I'm putting the weights on weird now. Oh, and this bar has no whip, so it's stiff, whereas my deadlift bar bends. But I'm putting on 215 here, but I'm putting the weights on kind of backwards because I put on the 165 and then add 50 because I'm going to do as many reps as I can here and then drop off the 25s and keep going for somewhat of a drop set, because a drop set really, you move the weight, it works best on machines with pins so that you can keep going quicker without much rest, whereas this, it's taking me a good 20 seconds just to take the weight off and get set up again. So somewhat of a drop set, but it's it's pretty tough, this last one. It takes a lot out of you. And that tape on the floor I put there because I have a tendency to put my right foot a little bit forward, so it ends up being kind of like that when I feel like I'm comfortable because my back's crooked and my hips are kind of messed up. So I measured out from my rack where I wanted to do the squats and made sure the line was even on both sides, and then put the tape there so I can line my toes up on the edge and make sure that I'm straight. Let's see, we got 215 for 12 reps here I ended up getting. I tell you what, these last two sets are way harder than my sets of 5 to 6. Like, it's heavy weight with the other ones, but with these, when you go close to failure with higher reps, especially with squats, it takes a lot out of you, especially when your legs start burning even more. If you do a set of 5 to 6, you can feel it, but it's not like your muscles are burning. And then plus with this, I'm like breathing heavy. The belt's making it hard. And that belt has made a difference too. Before I was just using my dip belt that's hanging over the top of my rack. And this thing, I wanted to get one that's spec'd for competition so I can practice with it. And it's just so thick and firm, it's leather, and it really helps out a lot. So now we're down to 165 and we keep going. You can see I'm getting gassed. But you can push yourself a lot harder than you think, especially when it comes to legs. They can do a lot. Got my Camber Fitness cup. Let me know if y'all are interested in any kind of merchandise too, because let's start putting some stuff on. As it gets harder, I really have to make sure I'm going full depth too, because it's easy to start cutting it short when it's getting difficult. And I get to like 5 or 6 reps on these and then pause. I feel like I can't do anymore and then end up doing another 7 or 8 sometimes. In this case, I got 10 extra reps at 165. But if I look at my last leg workout, let's see, keep track of it on my phone. I did 225 for 11, dropped to 175 for 11. So, making good improvements. Yeah, top single 308 by 1. And today going to be deadlifting, hopefully 405. Hopefully I haven't lost a lot of strength. We'll see. But yeah, I'm like breathing hard here. Legs are in pain. Getting the knee sleeves off because I don't need them anymore. I started wearing the knee sleeves because when I first started squatting, my knees were hurting when I was doing it, and that helped. But I've changed my squat technique a lot on and off over the last couple years. It's nice having kids giving you a high five, having fun with you. But I've changed my technique a lot, and what I've been doing now, I've been able to get the deepest I can, no knee pain, no hip pain, lower back's good. I haven't been to India in a while. But I think we can finally go out and do stuff again, so that's cool. And if anyone's popping in here, once again, let me know where you're from, what you're doing today, what kind of workout. I'm just covering how I work out and how I lift. Got all my lifts in the description. So here, I'm doing a circuit now for the rest of the workout, just focusing mainly on squats. Before, I'd only do like 3 hard sets, and then move on to other stuff like lunges or leg press if I'm in a gym or whatever. But since I'm just gonna be squatting for competition, I wanna focus on that and get really good at it. And the more sets you do, the more technique you can get locked in, the better you'll get. So now I'm just doing a circuit for some other stuff. And with that circuit, I have calf raises and then dumbbell curls, which you might think, why are you doing dumbbell curls? This is leg day. I've had issues with my tendon here. I had this one a long time ago. It's been fine now, but this one now on and off kind of hurts, and I have to do a lot of warming up. When doing curls and certain pulling exercises, I gotta make sure I'm doing the right angle or correct angle for me, or else it'll hurt. And so if I do arms the same day or biceps the same day as back, I just don't get as good a workout. So I do them when I do legs, and then I get a day of rest between, so they're fresh for a back workout. But so for the calves, that was a warm-up set. I think I did 20 with both legs, no weight. I'm trying to make sure I get good reps, not just bouncing up and down like I see a lot of people do. Go up, flex, let yourself all the way back down. Same with the arms, doing 25 pounds here for 15 reps. And I just really get a couple good warm-up sets with curls now, because I can feel when I do those 20-pound ones, I can feel some tension right here. So I gotta do that and then do one more warm-up set before I do a few heavy sets. And it makes the heavy sets work out fine. Because when that thing hurts really bad and it's inflamed, it makes it really hard to do a lot of other exercises. Excuse me. So here, I gotta put those weights against the bench because when I do these hip thrusts, it tends to push the bench backwards. And I also have, get my girls to come over and help hold the bench. Because sometimes even with those, when I do heavy weight, it pushes the bench backwards. So this helps out. Hey, 30-day filmmaker. Welcome to the chat. I'll have to try that out. Did you do that as a warm-up before working out with the resistance bands, or was that more of like a, like a separate thing you did on different times? So here I'm doing hip thrust, 365 for 15. And after going through and watching this, I think I'm gonna start dropping the weight, maybe 50 pounds. Instead of just trying to get more weight and shoot it up, like lift up and pause and let it back down. Because it is a lot of weight and I can feel it, it's tough, but at the same time, it's not quite as controlled as if you go up and pause and let it back down. So try to get more out of less weight in the future on that. tip. We have some bands. I've broken some before because I took some on a trip with me and I was doing some flies using the door handle. I didn't realize the door handle was kind of sharp in the hotel, and then it just whacked me in the arm hard. So one thing I don't like about resistance bands. So leg extension and then leg curls. That's the circuit. I do calf raise, curls, hip thrust, leg extension, leg curl. Body elastic. Okay, I'll check that out. You'll see in there's a lot more sets of calf raises and dumbbell curls because I've worked my quads, glutes, and hamstrings a lot from the squat, so I'm only doing a few sets of those. Here I just did 125 for 16 on the leg extension, and I put leg extension. I don't know how to type. I'll change that real quick. Leg extension. And then with the leg curls here, doing 105 for 16, and I'm gonna do one heavier set after that, and then a lighter set to just really try to do higher reps and burn it out. Oh, that's cool. 0 snapback. Nice. I'm gonna have to look that up. But yeah, just these couple sets is all it really I need for this. My legs are sore the day after doing this from all the squats, especially with getting deeper than I used to. I really feel it like, so kind of get up here. Oh, my chair. Like I can feel in my quads all the way up to my hip joint pretty much ever since I started going deeper on squats. And it makes a huge difference, that extra range of motion. Because I used to stop at parallel or sometimes even higher because I was ego lifting. I have a video on that on the channel, how I started changing my technique because watching videos of myself realized that I was lifting more than I needed to just to say I was doing heavier weight. I've noticed a difference the last few months on my performance too. And you can consistently track it too when you know you're hitting the same depth. That's another good reason to record yourself doing stuff, because a lot of times you see people at the gym, they might think you're weird or something if you're recording yourself, but I'm like, I literally want to see my technique and stuff so I can improve it and get better and get the most out of it. So I did the first set of calf raises. Now I'm doing another one, single leg now. I do another 15, and then I'm gonna start adding weight and doing single ones. This is my least favorite exercise to do at home is calves, because it's just way easier when you have something to use. Like a Smith machine is nice because you can get on a couple plates and go up and down with it, or just the calf machines that you get up under. I don't like the seated calf machines, but the standing ones that you just get up under in your shoulders and you can do the pins, those are really good. I like doing that at the gym, but not a whole lot of options at home, so this works. No problem. And then doing another semi warm-up set of curls. We got 35 pounds here for 12 reps. And this is a resistance band with a door attachment. Huh. Oh yeah, so you like put the attachment. Huh. That's interesting. I hadn't thought about doing that. I probably could get start experimenting with some stuff with bands to do stuff like that, setting stuff up on my rack. I actually just started doing, so here I'm doing 405 for 12 reps, and you'll see I'm kind of speeding through the reps. I think it'll be more beneficial if I drop the weight, because I'm going up, but I think I could probably get up a little higher and get my body more parallel to the ground with 50 pounds less, and then pause it up there and let it back down. But it just sounds cool to use 4 plates, right? It's ego lifting for you. But something I started doing recently when I go to the gym for back workouts is doing the pull-up assisted machine. I saw them do it a bunch on Renaissance periodization, and that is killer, because I can do 10 pull-ups, 10 to 15, depending on how fresh I am. But when it gets hard, it's easy to start going like this or swing yourself up and not realizing it, not getting a full range of motion because you're getting tired, because there's not a whole lot that you can warm up with pull-ups. Here, leg extensions, the heavy set, 140 for 14. But you pull yourself up and, I mean, you're literally doing a lot of weight, my body weight, almost 190 now on a pull-up, whereas I started getting on the assisted pull-up machine and taking half my weight off and really pulling all the way up and pausing like this, my chin way above it, and slowly let down, and that kills your lats. And I would highly suggest doing that if you're at a gym, is using the assisted pull-up machine and like literally doing hard sets of stuff, slowly taking more weight off so that you're doing more work. I didn't even get to where I was doing full chin-ups myself. I still had like 40 pounds of assistance. Now we got leg curls. This is my heaviest set, 120 for 13. Leg curls are one of my favorite exercises too. Just feeling the hamstrings get really tight and engage them. That's probably one of the reasons why I can flex them so well for posing and stuff. They stand out a lot more in my quads. Kind of hurts to me, my knees a little bit, posing my quads. I try to angle my legs differently, but hamstrings are really easy, for me at least. A lot of people have trouble with the mind muscle part of it. But leg curls helps with that because you can really feel it. So now I'm done with hip thrust, so I only do 2 sets of that. So now we're back to calf raises. I got 50 pounds for 11 reps. I haven't talked this much in days. I feel like my voice is starting to go again. I'm gonna go ahead, dump some pre-workout in here, get ready. Harder than last time. Call me a sellout if you want. That's what I use. So discount codes in the description for 10% off. This one's the Pink Candy Blast. Full range of motion on calf raises is important to really feel it. I'm gonna start pausing more at the top too. Like that's why I like watching myself, because I can see I hit the top and then just drop back down. I want to hold it, then slowly let yourself back down. So now is my heavy sets of curls. I got 50 pounds. I worked up to where I could get 12. In the last couple, there's some definitely a little bit of arching back going on, but with curls, as long as the majority of them are pretty strict, you get a couple extra reps at the end with some cheat, a little bit of body swing, and then try to really let them back down slow if you can. Try to remind myself that with all my exercises. If I'm on a machine or whatever, depending on how it is, like with a overhead press. If I get one more up and I know I can't do another one, I don't just drop the weight back down and rack it. Get up and I try to let it down as slow as I can, because you're still getting a lot of work in on that eccentric. So now I'm doing calf raises, curls, leg extension, leg curl. This is the last set of the leg extension, leg curls. And then I just doing a couple more sets of calf raises and curls. Here we got 105 for 20 reps. And sometimes I'll make this into a drop set too. Instead of putting the 45 and then 15 pounds on, I did a 35 and a 25. So I did as many as I could and threw the 25 off and kept going, drop set. Just depends on how you're feeling that day. I won't be doing that on my next workout since I've hardly exercised this week. I'm gonna be sore just from doing normal sets, but if you feel like you need more of those drop sets, make a big difference. But I only do that on the last set of an exercise. Don't drop set everything. leg curls, or extensions especially, I always tell myself, lift it, pause, and let it back down. I feel like I am. Then I watch and it looks like, no, you don't really pause much. But they're tough. So leg curls, get 90 pounds for 20. And it feels easy initially, the first 10 reps or so. And go into failure, or close to failure, in the 15 to 30 rep range, because you build muscle anywhere from 5 to 30 reps, so you're pushing yourself to failure. But going to failure on 5 reps is way easier than like 20 to 30, because you got to do so much work leading up to that. You do 5 reps of something and fail, it could take you 10 seconds, where this you're working for like upwards of a minute. Take some cardio endurance too. I pause for a second, let some of the lactic acid get out, and then keep going. And this isn't the most comfortable thing for leg extensions and leg curls, but it was cheap and it works. So, and that's it for the leg extension and leg curls. Now I just have a couple more sets of calf raises and dumbbell curls. Because like I said, we already hit the glutes, the hamstrings, and the quads, the main leg lower body muscles, and all the squats. Oh yeah, I can see that. Dance for leg extensions. Sometimes I use my kids. We're on vacation. I sat on the edge of a dock. I started with my baby and did like 30 reps to warm up. Then I'd go from one kid to the next till I got up to like my 80-pound kid. And although it's harder to get full range of motion with a tall kid, that was 70 pounds for 9 reps on the leg or calf raises, and now another set of 50 on the curls for 11 reps. I closed the garage because neighbors were mowing the lawn. When they do, it starts blowing grass in the garage. Usually I have it open just so I can get some more airflow. Although lately it doesn't help much because it's so stinking hot. But I'm doing extra, more sets for the curls and calf raises because I haven't really worked those muscles. I mean, you're stabilizing yourself with your calves during squats, but they're not really doing much work. So we're getting pretty much 4 working sets of each harder sets, because you don't need a lot. The main muscle groups, 10 to 20 hard sets a week, and then secondary muscles, like I've heard anywhere from like 8 to 16, something like that. So with this, I'm getting 4 and 4 on my other day, so that's 8. Plus you're working your arms, your biceps when you're doing back days, so they're getting plenty of work. One of my favorite arm things though is preacher curls, preacher curl machines, and then doing drop sets with those and just really pulling up, pausing, and feeling the bicep squeeze. I have an easy curl bar too, but I just lately with my arm hurting here, having the dumbbells, being able to turn them helps, and just having them independent instead of them being locked in with a lot of tension. So hopefully when this thing completely heals, whenever that is, we'll get better and be able to do some other curl variations. But that's a nice thing too. We change stuff up every so often and it helps keep things fresh. So here doing the calf raise, 45 pounds for 12 reps, and then, or no, that's curls, sorry. 45 pounds for 11 reps, and then no weight for another 7. I try to just put my hands on the bench to stabilize myself, but towards the end sometimes I help push myself up and then let myself back down to get a little more out of it. And we're on to the final set of curls here. We've got 45 for 12, dropping to 30 for another 9. And like I was saying, this is a more condensed way to kind of go over the workout, answer questions if y'all have, talk about what I do, why I do the things I do, how it's worked for me, without taking up an hour and a half of your time, because Usually takes me between an hour and 20 minutes to do a workout. And then when I was doing my live videos and talking between answering questions, it'd last an hour and a half sometimes. So this way we can talk about stuff during it. It's fun having conversations with y'all. I appreciate you showing up and checking out what I do. Curls are one of those things like I like to do, but at the same time I don't. Like, it's weird. I don't like dumbbell curls that much, and I don't like doing them single-armed. I guess you can turn a little more and get more out of it, but it takes so long when you do them one at a time. I'm not a big fan of unilateral exercises because it takes so long. Like, lunges are one of the worst for me, and I used to do them all the time in my garage because I didn't have a whole lot of options. But you do what works for you. I think I need to wash that towel. I can't remember the last time I did. It just stays in the garage. It dries out. But this is a wider view of the garage, putting everything away. This takes up a bit of the time because there's so much stuff. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, you do the curls and you get up there and then you're just, you know, pretty much hinged against gravity. One thing I do like is when I was at the beach like 6 weeks ago, they didn't have a whole lot of options, but they had one of those big machines with cables on each side. And I'd move one of them down and just get a curl bar and lay on the ground with my feet against the cable machine and do curls with the cable like that. And that was really good because, like you were saying, you get that constant tension throughout the whole movement, and it works really well. Another reason why I like that, what was I saying? The assisted pull-up, because you get a full range of motion and really feel that tension all the way through it instead of just trying to work your whole body weight up doing normal pull-ups. So, I don't think you can see my mouse on the screen. I've got on the dumbbells, the bottom rack, it's 5 through 35, and then at the very top of the rack is 40, 45, and 50. And when I got dumbbells initially, I bought that set from Rogue. And then I bought this rack after I moved into this house. This rack's pretty expensive, but it's really good. It's really sturdy. It's on wheels, so you can move it around. I actually need to pull it out and clean everything soon because it's got pollen and stuff on it. One of the downsides, those bumper plates I'm taking off, they're some of the cheapest ones you can get from Rogue, but if you see there's writing on them, because they're 45-pound weights, but 3 of them are 44.3 and one of them is 43.6. So I bought some change plates recently, some 1 1/4, so I can put on and make sure my weights are the same. So if you ever see my weights I'm posting on Instagram and stuff of my lifts, it says like 308 or random stuff. It looks like it's, like I did a deadlift, it looks like it's 405 because it's 4 plates, but it's actually 400 because with all those plates added up, all the half-pound differences end up making it like 5 pounds less overall. I do, if you see it to my right, the blue on the rack, the blue Rogue bumper plates, those ones actually weigh more. They're 45.2, and I'm going to be getting some more of those soon because they're thinner, and I'm going to be repping 405 pretty soon on deadlift, so want to be able to use those and get some good training, because when I use the 45s that are on that leg extension right now, they're rubber coated but they're steel, and when it hits the ground it's pretty jarring and uncomfortable. But then on the dumbbell rack I've got 70s, 80s, 90s, and then the 100s are against my bench right now that I use to hold it steady while I was doing those hip thrusts. And the benches, let's see, you can see my dip attachment in between the rack and the dumbbell rack. I've got a landmine. It extension that I never use. I've used it a few times, but I ended up not really liking it. But it's just a hinge that you put the barbell sleeve in and use it for all kinds of stuff. I bought the bench I'm carrying now strictly for leg curls and leg extensions. And I'll put, like when I'm gonna do dumbbell bench press and stuff, I'll stick my weights on that bench so that I can just pick them up and then sit down on the other one instead of walk around with 100-pound dumbbells. The bench that has a towel on it used to be my primary bench for bench pressing and everything else. But you can see on the right of the screen behind the stroller, I'll be putting it away later, I just bought a new Rogue bench a few weeks ago that's made for powerlifting. So it's wider, it's really firm padding, because my other padding's pretty thick, and then you kind of squish down into it and it's a bit narrow, so my shoulder blades almost roll off the sides of it. So there's a lot more support on the other bench, and it's kind of tacky so you don't slide on it, and it's helped a lot with doing my bench pressing and improving on that. So I want to practice as much with the type of stuff I'm going to be using in competition. And I usually, excuse me, on other days when I'm cleaning up, I usually do it faster, but it's so hot right now, and after doing legs, I get so worn out that I'm just like, whatever. It takes me 10 minutes to clean up. Those are the safety racks I throw up there. Those have been really helpful. Make me not afraid doing bench pressing and squats. Although I can't use them when I'm doing flat bench because I can't get them low enough on my rack because of how the system works for it. So I just get a spotter on my heavy stuff. But everything fits neatly against the wall, neatly enough, and can pull the cars in. We used to park both cars in the garage just fine with that there, but now that I have a massive truck, it doesn't even fit in the garage, so there's plenty of room for one car. When you record your workouts, do you archive them for review down the road? I keep everything on my phone. I track it. I've been posting my 1 rep lifts on Instagram just so I can go back and easily see dates and lifts I've done. That's one of the reasons I did want to do this. I'm going to post, my plan is to do 1 leg, 1 push, 1 pull workout live video like this a month. That's the new bench I was talking about. It's got a ton of increments for angles, so it's really nice. But I'm going to delete this footage from my computer, but now I have it on YouTube and I can go back and see my lifts for that time, and then yeah, over time easily see the differences. So that's the end of that one. I'm just going to pause it right there. So something there just while I'm finishing talking about this, but yeah, it's it makes it easy for me to go back, especially as I'm getting geared up towards this powerlifting program or competition, and see, okay, what are my lifts like? I actually did these workouts the end of June. I meant to do this sooner in the month, but ended up going on vacation. Then I had a work trip that came up. Then I got sick, and I haven't been able to talk for a week. So now we're getting to it. But I'll probably do another one Monday for my push day. But be able to see, okay, this is what I did in July. This is what I did in August, and see the progression there. And I'll probably make a video on that too, just showing this was my program, how well did it work, and or how could I have improved? And it's been working really good. The biggest thing for me is I've gained 10 pounds in the last, or 11 pounds in the last 8 weeks, and that has made a huge difference in strength. A lot of people feel like they're plateaued. Oh, I need to take some kind of PEDs. I need HRT, I need this. I felt not good when I did my bodybuilding show. Like, I didn't feel terrible, but I was so weak, but I knew I maintained my strength all the way down to the last 2.5 weeks before the show. So I knew once I start eating, I'm going to keep pushing hard, and my squats shot up a ton. It's gone up 10%. My bench press, I just hit a new 1 rep max last time I lifted, and that's not even my 1 rep max. That's like 90 to 95% of what I'm estimating my 1 rep max is. So all my lifts are going up fast. I haven't had pains. I don't feel like it's like food is almost like a drug essentially. If you're eating enough, then you're gonna be doing well. And a lot of people think they need a bulk to do more when they're already bulked. I've made videos on that too, but essentially, if you're too lean, it's really hard to make progress. And right now, I'm making a ton. Still got 10 more pounds to gain. I'm gonna try to do about 2 pounds a month, and my goal is at the show 455 deadlift, which I think I'm gonna be able to do more than that. 365 squat and a 300 bench, which I've never done. So if I can do that, it's gonna be awesome. But hey, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for tuning in and watching. I'm going to be doing this again probably Monday for my push workout. And I'll see you guys then. Y'all have a good day and a good workout.